happening? Is it everywhere? Is anyone still out there? Anyone but them, I mean.
Hello YouTubers, Max18363 here, and this is part 5 of my narrated F.E.A.R extraction point playthrough. And that baffling appearance, that civilian there, was just baffling.
I'm getting reports from all over the city. There's still pockets of Delta Force out there. We're trying to set up an extraction point at a hospital a couple of miles from here. Auburn Memorial. These freaks are everywhere, though.
I'm not far from there.
Good. You head for the hospital, we'll meet you there.
I mean, so many questions are raised. Who is he? What does he do? Why is he hiding behind crates? That's a mute point. And as you probably picked up from those radios and transmissions, I'm getting tongue-tied here. I'm going to start that again. As you probably picked up from those radio transmissions here, are kind of basically telling you what our main goal is to get to the rooftop of the hospital. That's kind of the extraction point, hence the title of the game. Kind of clever stuff there. But that's kind of the later stages of the game before we get there. We've got to go through the subways and stuff first. And this area here was rather an interesting section because, well, I quite enjoyed it because it's a little linear at times, but it's still fairly open, and there is a couple of ways that, you know, the replicas and stuff can get at you, but I figured out that the best way to do it is to actually kind of just stick to the right, because it doesn't trigger the spawn point off straight away. If you go left, that triggers the spawn quicker. So I like to try and stick to the right if I can, and I don't know, it seemed to make a difference, that, because they don't appear as quickly. I mean, you're kind of okay if you can go down here. I can't really remember why I came down here, actually. But yeah, generally, stick to the right. And then, you know, trucks roll in with replicas, and I know it's just kind of easier to take them from that position, but as you can see, it's a reasonably open space, and there's a bit of sky and stuff, and I don't know, it's a good area to find in. This is kind of what I was talking about in previous videos about, you know, trying to open up the fights a little bit in F.E.A.R. And I think they succeed very well, and there'll be a second fight later on that we'll see, which is just utter pandemonium, but also great fun. And there's a truck with loads of replicas, and also a heavy that you'll probably remember from the first F.E.A.R as well. The heavies are just as bulletproof as they were in the first game. And also a little more aggressive. I noticed in F.E.A.R sometimes that they would sometimes only come so far. Like you would kind of enter into the arena or the area where you fight them, but they would only it's like they were kind of scripted to only go so far. They would never go beyond a certain doorway or a certain part of the corridor, and they would just kind of stop there. And then you could just kind of sort of duck in and out of cover, popping rounds off until you got them. And though you can still do that to an extent here, it's a little tricky because, as you saw there, they're a little more aggressive. I can't recall for sure if all the heavies like that in this game, but I think if I recall correctly, I think generally speaking they are a bit more aggressive, which is good, because then it forces you to, I suppose, be a bit more speedy, react a bit differently, adjust your tactics slightly, which is what it's all about, really. I was just kind of experimenting there. I kind of wondered if I could jump up there, but obviously not. I do like to explore, so I do.
Seen them?
Seen who? The replicas?
No. This is something else. sure. Be careful, both of you.
They're kind of hinting about a new enemy that we're going to fight soon-ish. I can't recall what they're called at the moment. As you can see, there's kind of blood everywhere, and they've clearly been through the area recently. They're kind of a variation on the kind of ghostly apparitions that we had to shoot at certain points in the previous F.E.A.R. They're kind of a variation, but quicker, and more annoying because they're also partially invisible. But that's a while away. We're also going to get a new toy in a few minutes here. I'll just tell you, it's a deployable turret, basically. We got to take out one that's just round the corner. This is one that the enemies set down for us. They're just little tiny turrets, and they're automated obviously, so if they see enemies they'll shoot at them, and they can stick to pretty much anything. So you've got to take this one out. It always sits on the wall on the right there. A few shotgun blasts will do it. So I guess they kind of inserted that just to kind of introduce you to turrets a little bit, and you get to pick up turrets of your own in the next room. You can carry up to 3 of them. And like I say, they're kind of like sticky bombs, will stick anywhere, and very useful. If you didn't catch that, that was a woman saying, "I'll be waiting for you." I'll tell you, I would love it if a woman called me up to tell me that she was waiting for me. But we're drifting off track here. So yes, those are the deployable turrets I was talking about. And they are, I would say, fairly imperative for the next fight, which is basically the area that we're about to go into now. And it's basically a stay alive until the bell rings kind of scenario, and there is a lot of replica to deal with in several waves. It's kind of just stay alive until... My goodness, he wouldn't go down. Stay alive until Holiday gets to you. And there's kind of like a big crate at the back with more of those deployable turrets and stuff in it. It's really important that you try and make use of them, because trying to get through this area without those turrets is very difficult. They provide some much needed support, much needed firepower. I mean, they'll shoot at any enemies that they see, they stick to any surface. Now things are going to get pretty chaotic here, so I don't know if I'm going to get much chance to talk over the noise. So I guess I'll kind of just let you watch. Maybe try and see how I can. It takes a moment or two for it to kick off, but it gets worse. Since there is a lot of replicas to deal with, it also makes the use of slow-mo a bit more strategic. You need to be a little more careful when you use it. So that's the turret getting placed there. There's about 3 or 4 in the air, and a little health booster, so make sure you grab them. But first things first, you want to get your turrets out there. Get them in the game, get them involved. Come back, restock, get out there, there's the booster. gone all quiet, but I can assure you we're not done yet. But that's kind of the worst of it. In hindsight, I could probably have placed the turrets a little better. I was getting a bit panicky, so I probably could have positioned them slightly better. But you get the idea of what you're supposed to be doing.
I've got you covered from up here.
And that's Holiday here now to give us some firepower from the kind of balcony, I suppose. This is a good chance to kind of have a wee scout about, gather up supplies, take out the last of the replicas. Much needed armour, always good.
We're clear. Rendezvous at the door.
And that was it, and I personally found that to be really quite an exciting fight. I think it really captures the chaos of F.E.A.R. Close quarter combat is what this game is all about. It does it very well, and I had a blast when I first played through this. So we go and sort of rendezvous with Holiday now, and he's kind of with us for a good wee while now. A bit of very rare team-based, I don't know if you could call it that, but you know, you have a teammate to help you out now for a bit in combat. You actually take out replicas with him there by your side, and it's good. So he's with us for a while now.
Glad to see you in one piece. Long story short, the plan is to get Jen and regroup with what's left of Delta Force in the hospital. She's having a rough go of it. I know you guys deal with the spook house shit, but something tells me you've never dealt with anything like this before.
And it has to be said, he's actually reasonably helpful as well. He doesn't just kind of stand around not doing anything, he does help out.
Weren't you supposed to kill him?
This is not what she wants.
Uh-oh. You go ahead. I've got your back.
You see him too, don't you? Shit. No wonder Jen's having trouble. This is not right.
Basically, if I'd gone and answered that phone, the result would have been the same. The scream, the windows break. I was actually experimenting there. I was trying to see what would happen if I just ignored the phone, and as you can see, the result was the same. The same thing happens either way. I was just kind of toying there. Got a good old bit of tension building there. It's always good. I think the horror comes off a little incorrectly sometimes in the extraction point, but there are bits that still get me, I'll admit. But we'll see more of that later on. So till the next time.